The epicenter of the sports world, Toronto, Ontario. A gorgeous, newsworthy Sunday in the 6, where the hope here at least is that the Raptors will win in 5. The scene has shifted back east with the Raptors holding a 3-1 series advantage, a first ever title won on international soil, or a comeback for the ages. Either way, we are set up for a historic conclusion to the NBA season. Game Time live at the finals presented by YouTube TV with 3D. Dennis Scott, the NBA champion, Steve Smith. I'm Jared Greenberg. Thanks for being with us here from Scotiabank Arena, where Game 5 will be played on Monday night. The Golden Dynasty facing elimination. The storyline, though, that continues to dominate this NBA Finals is the status of Kevin Durant. He hasn't played in a month and a day since injuring his right calf against Houston in Game 5 of the second round. While his status for Game 5 is still unknown, Steve Kerr did deliver what appeared to be good news earlier on Sunday.
He'll practice with us today, and he'll get some extra work in with some of our younger players, and we'll gauge it from there.
Are you more hopeful than you have been the last couple of days?
Yeah, because he hasn't done what he's going to do today. He hasn't done. So he's doing more today, and then we'll know more after that.
Having another powerful weapon out there that can do some very dynamic things on the floor, and we'll be able to adjust and transition pretty smoothly. He's been in plenty of finals and has played well, and no matter what percentage he's at, I'm sure he'll be impactful and effective out there.
That was prior to practice. Here's some exclusive footage from after practice with Kevin Durant walking out of Scotiabank Arena after reportedly, according to the team, getting onto the court to practice for the first time since his injury. Dennis Scott, Steve Smith, what do we think? Is Kevin Durant going to suit up and play while the Warriors face elimination Monday night?
My gut feeling is no, he will not play. Just listening to Steve Kerr, and once again, we've been saying it since the final start. It's hard to simulate 2-on-2, 3-on-3, and throwing him out in the fire trying to guard Kawhi Leonard or chasing Danny Green around. But with that being said, Smitty, if he were to dress up, yes, it would be exciting. They'll get a little boost. But there's no way it's a month and 1 day, Jared, to get the number right, a month and 1 day off. There's no way you can come back and be the Kevin Durant we know.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. I don't think he'll be the Kevin Durant that we've accustomed to seeing. And I am with 3D. I don't think my gut feeling says he's playing, but it's good to see him at least getting a chance to walk around and play. If this can extend, maybe you get a chance to get him 6, maybe you get a chance to get him 7. But do they miss him? For sure. Are they a better team without Kevin Durant? No. But here's a guy right now, if he's able to go 60, 70%, he's still a guy who can flat out shoot the basketball. And I think defensively he's a guy who can help them. But right now it doesn't look like it, in my opinion, even though we got a chance to see him walk out, he practiced. I still my gut feeling saying he's not playing, Jared.
What now, we obviously, as you said, don't know to what level he is ready to go if indeed they do suit him up. But if he's thrown out there, how does that change the way this team has been playing? And again, we have no idea, Smitty, how healthy he is.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest part is how healthy he is, how long can he go, would he be on the minutes restriction? But I know on the offensive end, he can flat out shoot the basketball.
That's right.
You got to account for him. He's one of those guys, you talking about spacing, whether he can just stand there, he's not going a lot of one-on-one. Defensively, he knows how to play. He's bought into what they're doing. He's blocked shots. He can switch. I think the biggest thing is how much can he go? How much has he been doing? And I think right now they know that even before this game, 3D, how much they can use him if he does play.
Steve Kerr talked about this is his first walkthrough since the semifinals. Right. So now you're saying, is he physically ready to rotate? We've been talking about the Warriors' defense being not that good here in the finals. Well, if he's on the floor, to your point, Smitty, does Steve Kerr feel comfortable enough to put him in some of those scenarios defensively where he has to rotate from one side of the floor back to the paint and then possibly protect the rim? So I'm not sure about that, Jared.
Not trying to make any excuses here for the Warriors. They have plenty of veterans who have been through all sorts of adversity. But how much of a distraction, 3D, do you think this has been on a daily basis, asking, is he or isn't he playing? And if he's not, why?
I think it's distraction because guys want to come into practice every day and games every day and prepared to play. I think we all would agree that maybe if the Warriors would came out and say, hey, this injury is a little more serious than possible, we're shutting him down until he shows us something differently. But we're talking about the finals. We're talking about Steve Kerr, who's been in this stage many times, so they want to keep hope alive and see if he can come back.
You know, unfortunately, they've been to the finals 5 straight years, and we said how much will they have left? Will injuries creep in? Well, they have. Klay Thompson, Looney, Cousins, Andre Iguodala, Kevin Durant. We've all talked about them, and also Stephen Curry. They're all banged up, and so I think that's been the topic of discussion throughout this entire playoffs or this finals is who's healthy enough to play and when will they play, how will they play, how much. It has been a distraction for the Warriors.
So stay with us. We'll continue to update you as soon as we gather more information about Kevin Durant's right calf, whether he's able to play or not. The Warriors still facing elimination Monday night with the tip-off just after 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 Pacific. Even though the Warriors have never been down 3-1 in the finals, they have been down 3-1 in a playoff series a couple of years ago against OKC in the Western Conference Finals, come back to win that. How much does that experience play into the Warriors' level of confidence?
The mood is good. We've still got plenty to play for. And, yesterday was a travel day, so we didn't do anything. So it's not like we've spent a lot of time together. Today we'll watch the film and go through practice and talk about the things we can clean up. But the mood's good. We have an amazing opportunity and challenge, and we're going to do everything we can to meet that challenge, and we're excited about it.
I think after Game 4, it was a tough vibe in the locker room just because you lose 2 in a row at home. Nobody likes that feeling at all, especially in the finals, and it's kind of a little self-reflection of what do we need to do and what do we need to correct for us to stay alive. But I wouldn't say we're down at all. It's mostly just we're anxious for tomorrow to just get out there and play a great basketball game. And I think we're confident in that fact that we can do that. And the best bet for us is just to block out as much noise as possible. Have a great practice today where we hone in on the details that we need to correct and really come with the right mindset of the energy and effort we need to play with our backs against the wall. And again, like I kind of said earlier, we know we can do it. It's just a matter of proving it.
All right, well, here's who has done what the Warriors will try to accomplish. As I mentioned, they have done it coming back from 3-1 down. That was in the Western Conference Finals. Remember, the only time it's ever been done in the NBA Finals was against the Warriors with that historic comeback by the Cleveland Cavaliers a couple of years ago back in 2016. During the Steve Kerr era, these Warriors are 5-1 when facing elimination. They will try and stave it off again tomorrow night. Smitty, how much does that experience of being there and going through the wars and understanding that you don't have to win 3 games in a row tomorrow night, you just have to win 1?
I think this scenario's, if I can say, bodes well for the Golden State Warriors if they could win this game. Reason why is they're going back to Oracle. Right. Let's give the Toronto Raptors a lot of credit because they have the Warriors in this 3-1 situation. That's the reason why. This team has guys that can flat out score the basketball. They've been there. They have that experience. You can see they're loose. I look at this team as they got to take it quarter by quarter, not even game by game, because I thought they had the momentum going into that halftime last game.
Right.
This Kawhi Leonard-led Toronto Raptors, they are not getting rattled 3-0.
Right, I agree.
Not at all. So they're going to have to come out and beat them because the Toronto Raptors won't beat themselves.
I agree with you, Smitty. And also, Jared, that team that beat OKC, that complexion team's different. Barbosa, Harrison Barnes, all those different guys. In Game 4, Quinn Cook 0 of 4, McKinney 1 of 6. So as much as we talk about Steph Curry and all the stars, the Warriors role players did not shoot the ball and play that well either. So how do you get the Jerebkos and all those role players to believe in, to Smitty's point, 1 quarter at a time, be up at halftime, ride their way into the 4th quarter? So as much as history is, this team is different, along with we've been talking about all week long. They're banged up.
A little later on, we'll talk about maybe some adjustments that Steve Kerr can make and what personnel moves you guys think we might see Monday night. But rather than just focusing just on the role players, how much do we need the stars to be stars? How much does Steph Curry and Klay Thompson have to have monster games?
They have to. They can't have pedestrian-like games. They have pedestrian-like games, and the role players play good, they're going to get blown out of the building. Right. So that's why the role players of being a star, be a star and shine. Then the role players can fill in.
And I think also two veterans for me is Andre Iguodala and Draymond Green. They have to take shots.
Yes.
They have to hunt shots, and they get wide open shots. They have to take them. I know you lean on Steph, you lean on Clay. You're trying to get those guys shots, but they're leaving those guys wide open 3. They must be confident and take a lot of shots.
Game Time Live at the Finals, presented by YouTube TV, rolls on. 1 win away from a title. Has Kawhi Leonard earned the title as best player in the world? We'll hear from the Raptors as they get set to make history Monday night. Come on back from Scotiabank Arena. Earlier on Sunday.
After Game 4, Coach Nurse alluded to your defense sparking the production. How have you approached your role in this series?
Just putting my mindset and, try to go out there and try to help the team and bring some defense intensity, try to make different.
Why has this matchup with the Warriors been a favorable one for you?
Just the way they're playing, they play more fast, and so I'm kind of, center with, speed too and quickness. So I'm trying to use my quickness against them. It kind of work. It kind of match better, and also it's not only one person. It's teamwork, because every time I'm go help somebody and. I'm trusting somebody's going to be out there to help me. That's why everything's working.
How do you think that your point guard, Kyle Lowry, has rewritten the narrative surrounding his postseason success in this series?
Man, Kyle be amazing for us, and he's a true point guard. Like, when you need a point guard and you have Kyle, and as a big, it's always fun to play with a point guard like Kai. And, sometimes you see the stat, you see the numbers, like, oh, he didn't score, he scored less, but he did more than just score a point. He passed the ball. When Kai is playing his best, I'm not talking about scoring. It's not about scoring, but when he's playing his best, we always keep rolling. We're always rolling.
You've played with and against some of the game's all-time greats. Where does Kawhi Leonard rank on that list?
Man, Kawhi, he surprised me, man. Honestly, and seeing him playing at this level, it really surprised me because I remember I used to play against him a couple years ago at that level.
Is it possible to quantify what a championship would mean to Toronto, to Canada?
Man, those fans here, this city, this country deserve it, man. They be supporting this team for so long, even before me. And they're always here, they always cheer for us. They give everything. I think it's time for them, to have fun, to enjoy. And they deserve everything.
Thank you, Serge. Good luck.
Thank you.
Nick Nurse made an interesting comment after the Game 4 victory, saying that while some players get their all-around game started with their offense, Serge gets a couple of blocks, and that starts everything else going for him. He was sensational the other night.
I also add to that, Jared, I like when he kind of get hit. When he gets hits and then he gets a little physical, it seems like he turns into Ibaka back when we knew in OKC when he wants to just dominate the paint.
Right.
On and off the court. I don't like when Serge first play is a jumper.
Yes.
Then I go, Serge is not engaged, but I like when he gets a little tangled up with Draymond, with anybody, with Cousins, then I see there's Serge trying to be the guy who's going to protect the paint and also being able to also score the ball. I think he gets in a rhythm better when there's a little physicality.
Yeah, I agree with you, Smitty. 6 blocks in Game 3, 2 blocks in Game 4. And to your question, Jared, most NBA players want to get a layup first or shoot a jump shot first to kind of get their game going. So Serge is definitely on the other side where defense gets him going.
All right, well, Serge was fantastic. Kyle Lowry, despite the poor shooting numbers, had a fantastic game in Game 4, impacting the game in other ways. Show us what you saw from Game 4, how Lowry and Ibaka run that pick and roll that really throws off the defense of the Warriors.
Well, like Kristen Lillo was talking about, the old Kyle Lowry was all about scoring. This Kyle Lowry, to me, Smitty, it's about leadership and making the right play. Under control, you fake high, you throw low bounce pass, your big guy can catch it and finish it. Same thing. You attack the other team's big guy, you get downhill, you show it a little bit, make Steph Curry react, then you have Kawhi Leonard who's become a knockdown three-point shooter. So Kyle Lowry, to me, in the finals has shown us that make the right play, stay under control, perfect bounce pass with 4 seconds on the shot clock, Siakam can finish the play. Not too many guys understand when you make that bounce pass, Jared, it comes up softer, your big guys can handle it and finish the play. His leadership down the stretch has been phenomenal.
All right, a little later on, Kristen Ledlow joins us again to sit down with Klay Thompson of the Golden State Warriors. We come back with an all-access look at Game 4 of the 2019 NBA Finals, where Kawhi and the Raptors